Now you used to live on Staten Island,
Right.
and now you live in Manhattan, and if anybody knows the layout of New York City, Staten Island is a large island within New York City, but it's very isolated from the rest of the city geographically. So in other words, logistically, it can be very difficult. So I'm curious.
Right.
I'm curious to hear like your perspective on dealing with logistics to bring a girl home, or even going out on a date.
For me, the journey home would be like at least an hour, and it would be multiple transfer points from one mode of transportation to another, including a boat. Because to get to Staten Island, very often what people do when they're not driving is they take the ferry. So because of that, I mean, it was really difficult to try to meet someone and say, hey, come hang out. The short answer to your question about logistics is that I moved to Manhattan because you're locking yourself out of certain opportunities that would otherwise be available to you when you have bad logistics where it's too far away. You can't ever be as spontaneous as you would want to be or as the situation calls for. You always have to go back and make a plan. And there are a lot of people who are in a frame of mind, especially women have a different experience than men. And so sometimes when they're out, they're very willing to do something now, but then tomorrow they won't be as willing because they'll be back to kind of call it their day job mode, where they're out and they're in a certain frame of mind, like I'm social, I'm cool, this guy's cool.
Yeah,
why
exactly.
not live in the moment?
So would you try to get girls, just get them to meet up with you on Staten Island and then just go from there on a date?
There was really no other way. If I met a person who lived far away, maybe she had never been there, and then I was like that, I could say something like, oh, you haven't been hanging with the right people, because I could say, oh, you don't know how cool it is, have you ever heard about this or that, you should come do this with me. Because I was willing to have that be a part of who I was, and I'd say there's a place in my neighborhood, it's not like a secret, but when we're there, well, hey, you're in my neighborhood, well, you see where I live. That's when that would come into play, or I could stop home to drop something off or pick something up, and there were the opportunities. But same night lays were just not happening.